What's up, everybody? It's your boy. I hope you guys are doing well. I hope you guys are okay. Yeah, so for this video, I wanted to talk about, I wanted to kind of go back to the comics real quick and talk about the whole situation going on with Ben Reilly in the amazing books. For you guys that have been reading the current amazing Spider-Man run, uh, you know that Ben has become uh, he has rebranded himself as a new character called Chasm. Now, this is my thing with this whole thing, man. First of all, he's you got the whole dark web crossover thing going on. I don't read X Men. Okay, I love I like those characters. I respect those characters. I respect that they were created, but and I guess that this is kind of like what can sometimes be a problem for me with comics. I don't mind crossovers insofar as like, okay, you want to do crossovers, fine, but don't make it that I have to read them other books. Okay, I don't read X Men. Okay, matter of fact, there was a crossover. I think in the last arc, there was a crossover that was real heavy with the X Men, with the X Men's inclusion in the Amazing books, and I was like, that issue was a mess. That issue was an absolute mess. I forgot the issue number, but it was a mess, man. It was a mess. But anyway, so you had the Beyond era, right? In the Beyond era, I can't remember how many issues it lasted, but Peter was injured. Uh, Ben and Peter, they fought these villains, and Peter got caught in an explosion. I think a radioactive explosion or something. And for a long time, Peter was injured. He was in the hospital. There was even a an issue that took place where he was fighting off. No, I think it was Mary Jane. She was fighting off this weird creature type guy. I think who was eating patients in the hospital. That was a weird. I liked it, but it was a weird issue. It was a little weird, but anyway, so yeah, Peter was out. Peter was in the books, but he was injured for a while. He was on the sidelines, and then as he was getting better, he did some training sessions with Captain America, aka Steve Rogers, and Felicia Hardy, Black Cat, and but in the during that you had Ben, you know in a modified, updated version of his original costume, doing his thing, working for the Beyond Corporation. I think the female head honcho, her name was Maxine Danger. I believe that's what her name was. And, they were giving him some static, and then, you could tell that Beyond was kind of giving Ben a hard time, but he was rolling with it. He was rolling with it and saving the day and whatnot. And there was an issue where he fought Morbius, and I think the issue after that he fought a mutated version of Kurt Connors, aka the Lizard, where he transformed into like a where Connors transformed into like almost like a dragon type hybrid or something. It was pretty crazy, but so yeah, overall, I wouldn't say I loved those issues with Ben, but I liked them. They were okay. They were passable. Um, So you see, but then this is where I have the issue. My issue is, okay, so Marvel wanted us to. It seemed like they wanted to get Ben Riley back on track and have him return to being a good guy, right? No problem. Okay, sure, let's do it. But then but then they do this whole, and you can kind of understand. Okay, it's like, okay, well, Peter didn't want to help him get his memories back. That would piss anybody off, I guess. And but I don't know if that's enough justification to go to the dark side. Like I just don't know. I think what it was Peter was skeptical because the device that Ben wanted to get his memories back. I think Peter was iffy on it. He didn't want it to fuck with mess with his mind or Ben's mind or something like that. And if I'm not mistaken, and so then I think Ben falls into this. I think in the last issue of Beyond, he falls into this vat of chemicals or something, and then he comes out with a new update, an even newer, updated, modified version of his suit. And I admit, I think the suit looks cool, and I honestly I hope they put that suit in the Spider-Man 2 game for the PS5. Which, by the way, they're taking forever to release that game, man. It's been about 5 years, something like that, since the last game. Insomniac, hurry the hell up and release this game, man. Please. Please. It's been a while already. But anyway, yeah, so now you have Ben, you know, in the crossover. The last issue of Amazing, I think, was issue number 15, volume 6, number 15. Peter's fighting Ben, and it's a good battle. But I just feel like I just kind of feel like it was unnecessary. Like I just feel like why can't I don't mind it too much, but there's a part of me that feels like why can't Marvel just if they can't come to a decision of on how to keep Ben in his own book, then just have him show up from time to time. What they could do is they could have him show up from time to time, help Peter out. That way, Ben is still out there doing his thing. Peter could reference him, can call him for advice or whatever. And every year or two, Marvel could try to dabble with bringing him back with a new premise, in his own book. There was a book that Marvel did for Ben. I think it was 2018, where they brought Ben back in his original costume. The with the blue hoodie and the red suit. I love that costume, by the way. I like that costume, but honestly, I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I think the best Spider-Man costume is the excuse me, is the costume that Ben adopted way back in the day in the '90s when Peter retired. Because Peter went through the whole Clone Saga thing, so Ben took over, and that costume that Ben had, with the web shooters outside the wrist and everything, there was a little bit more blue in the suit. That's the best Spider-Man suit, in my opinion. Ben's not the one with the hoodie, but the other one, the second one he adopted. You guys know what I'm talking about. That costume is the best Spider-Man costume ever made. That's the best Spider-Man costume ever made. Um, and also, I think Marvel should kind of once in a while, Marvel likes to have Peter. They like to give Peter new suits. Have Peter put on that old suit. Have Peter put on that. Why not? Why not make Peter put on that suit while he goes against Ben? You know what I'm saying? Not only would it mess with Ben's head, but it's just a banging suit. I love that suit, man. But anyway, like I just feel like the whole making Ben Riley chasm thing. I just think it's over the top. I just think I just think it's too much. Just keep them. It's kind of a similar situation like what they did with what DC did, what Tom King over at DC did with Wally West. Uh, there's that storyline called Heroes in Crisis. That story destroyed Wally West, man. That story destroyed Wally West, and it took a lot of issues, a couple of different miniseries to fix what Tom King broke, and to bring Wally back into the spotlight. And Wally's kicking it. Like the current writer, I can't remember who's writing the book right now, but the current writer for the Flash book right now, they killing it with Wiley, man. Like they knocking it out the park. That's a fun ass book. That's a fun book right there. But anyway, yeah. So I mean, it's all I could say for now is that when this crossover and this whole chasm thing is done, that Ben can finally come back to the good side, to the light, and just stay a good guy. You know, Marvel, when you really think about it, Marvel has really gone a little bit too much back and forth with making Ben a good guy, making him a bad guy. He was the jackal. If you remember that storyline in the Amazing Books, I think it was 2015 or something like that, maybe 2016. Ben came back and he was the jackal. And now they're making him a bad guy again. It's like it's overkill. You know what I'm saying? It's just overkill. Keep Ben a good guy for Christ's sake. Anyway, that's all I got to say for this video, man. Just hopefully Peter could bring him back into the good side, and then or Ben could realize it on his own, and just go back to being a good guy, brother. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, that's all I got to say for this video, man. I'll catch you guys later. Let me know what you think in the comments if there's anything you want to say. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.